Anyways, educators, so what role does inquiry play in curriculum design development? And actually, what role does inquiry play in your own teaching? I'm on day 28 of writing on a road trip, and this morning I was updating some writing that I have on the role of inquiry in curriculum design and development. More specifically, I was thinking around reflective inquiry, and think about this as a process of sort of like ongoing questioning that you might do about your program, about your teaching. And when you're thinking about curriculum, what are some of the things that you might need to really reflect on in terms of why you're doing it, maybe some changes that you should make, things that you could be doing differently. And I was also thinking about, I happened to listen to a podcast episode a couple of days ago. It was Music Teachers Coffee Talk. I can't remember the exact number of it. If someone can think of it, drop it down in the comments. But it was in May 2026. And this is Music Teacher Coffee Talk with Tanya and Carrie. And they were talking about this idea of repeat, remove, and refine. And it was sort of like this end of year episode where they're thinking back on the year, and they were talking about, here's something that I would definitely do next year, here's something that I might not do next year, and here's something I might change a bit next year. And I was thinking as I was writing this morning, that kind of process, which I think everyone should engage with, and you should go check out the podcast episode, that kind of process requires reflective inquiry. So if you're going to think about what you might continue doing, what you might not do anymore, or at least in the following year, and what you might want to refine, and you're thinking through like, why might I keep something the same? Why might I not do something anymore? Why might I refine something or modify it or adapt it? That requires some deep questioning and reflection. And sometimes we might feel we don't have time for that throughout the school year, and we might need to do that at the end of the school year. Sometimes we're doing that throughout the school year and sort of making iterative changes. But my point with curriculum design and development is when you are developing curriculum, it's really important that you engage in a process of inquiry to reflect on the way things are, the way things have been, the way things maybe should be, and to keep that moving through the curriculum development process. And in some cases, it might be smaller things like, oh, should I use this repertoire again? Or should I keep things in the particular order that they are? But in other cases, they might be bigger issues. And I'm actually writing about another kind of trio of things, of sort of like this idea of like update, expand, and transform. And not that you would be doing all those things all the time through curriculum, but that you can do those things. Like you can choose to design curriculum in ways where you are updating your program and you are sort of making some modifications to the way that you do things. In some cases, you might be expanding, and this would be more of, I'm now going to do some things or work in some ways that I haven't done before, that there hasn't been space for that or time for that in my program. That might be one way that occurs. And then transformed is this idea of like, okay, there are some big changes that I need to make. And this often relates back to the inquiry that you were doing. Oh, it is possible that there are some aspects of my program where maybe the way that these are happening in my program, the way that these appear in the curriculum, there are some inequities there. And it might be repertoire. It might be like, oh, the kinds of concepts and skills that we tend to emphasize and de-emphasize. There might be something there that I need to address, and that's going to require some transformative work. So this process of inquiry helps us make decisions. And I'm just sort of making a case here that it's an important aspect of the curriculum design and development process. I'm curious about your perspectives. When are you engaging in inquiry? What kind of inquiry are you engaging in? Do you agree that inquiry is an important part of the curriculum process? And have you ever sort of encountered a scenario where the inquiry that you were doing led to a bigger type of change in your curriculum development? Let me know. Have a good one. Bye.